Hello everyone! I am the MoeChicken. Welcome to my stream. Welcome everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hope yours is going well. Tonight we are doing something fun. I am involved with a game jam this year. I have never done one before. And conveniently, the other person I'm working with is here, Haxtel. So Haxtel and I are currently working on a game jam. We have been working on it since Saturday of last week. The due date is Friday at midnight, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, Hax. Hax has been taking care of all of the complicated game making part, and I'm making silly little pictures out of pixels. So far we have sort of a functioning game, I think. The game itself is based on the old board game Mastermind, which, if you're not familiar, if you've ever played Clubhouse 51 games, same concept, but it's a game where one player takes takes 4 pegs out of a collection of 6 different colors and makes a pattern and hides it from the other person. And then the other person has a certain number of chances to guess that pattern. You have to get the colors and the sequence right. And so it's a game of kind of like deduction. You know, you put in a pattern and then the other person tells you if you either hit, which means that you have the right position and the right color, or a blow, which means that you had the right color but it's not in the right place. It's a fun game. It's a really thinky sort of game. If you're interested in seeing it in action, I know the Game Grumps did a playthrough of Clubhouse 51 years ago where they played it. In Clubhouse 51, it's called Hit and Blow. The official game is called like Mastermind. Anyway, we're doing something like that, and we're going to have sort of an island kind of tribal theme. So far, we have made the main character, who I will show you. We have made the actual like little altar where you will submit your guesses. And we've made basic terrain, so like grass tiles, sand tiles, and water tiles. And so tonight, the plan is to make just a bunch of environment assets. Just like a whole lot of like objects, bushes, trees, rocks, grass, flowers, all that. I will go ahead and get into it. Let's see, which one is desktop? Yes, that's this one, I think. That's correct. Hopefully y'all can see Piskel. You can't see Piskel, that's the wrong screen. Fudge. Which screen is this showing? I don't need to show that one. No. Sorry. I don't want to show that screen. I want to show a different screen. Okay. Yes. There we go. Okay. Now we got it. All right. There we go. Hello, Echo. You were sitting alone listening to Ween and decided to be more social. Well, welcome here. Thank you for being social. I am going to be making visuals tonight. We are going to be working on sprite design for a game jam that myself and Haxel are working on. So let me start by showing you some of the stuff we already have. I will show you the main character and like some of the objects we've made. So let's see. So our main character is kind of like a cross between a lizard and a frog, and so I just called him a lyrg. And so here's what he looks like. Hang on, stand southeast. Okay, that one works. So there's our little guy. He's kind of like a lizard frog, and he's got a little skirt on. And his job is to walk around and find various items and submit them to. Where is it? Objects, Piskels. Submit them to this, which is the altar. Nice. This is a Prime sub. 7th Prime. This sub. Oh, it's Prime, baby. This is every Rick and Morty joke ever. Now I'm being canceled. Nice. Well, thank you for subbing. So yeah, the idea is that he will walk around, gather things, and then bring them to this altar. And the things he will gather are things like coconut or amazing pebble or such and such. So that's the general idea. Hacks can probably tell you more about the actual gameplay if anyone is curious, but I am going to go ahead and get started on making stuff. That's fine. What? Oh, wait, where did it go? Doggone it. Close the whole thing. You love the pebble? I like the pebble too. It's very shiny. It's very shiny. Hello, Jimmy. Alright, so let's start with some rocks. Basic rocks. So yeah, this is just going to be me hanging out and spriting. And, you know, I think it will be fun. And so we're probably going to need to have conversation pieces to talk about. So, if anybody has anything interested in talking about, let me know. Otherwise, I will just start yammering on like I usually do. Yammering on like usual. It is how I roll. I am excited, though. I'm excited about this. It was very generous of Hacks to think of me to support them in this effort. I'm good. I'm good, Jimmy. It's good to hear from you. I am excited about this effort to make a video game because I've wanted to make a video game for a very long time. And the problem is that I have difficulty committing to things. And so I seldom accomplish my goals. Glad that the game will have real art. Well, thank you. Appreciate that too. So Hacks, have you done one of these before? Is this not your first game jam, or are you new to this process as well? Because you seem to know... This is your first game jam? Okay, well, you could have fooled me. You seem to know what you're doing. Dither a little bit here. Dither. Dither, dither. That isn't familiar at all. What are you referencing that? That isn't familiar at all. Oh, you lost power yesterday due to a rough storm. That's scary. I hope you're okay. Everything turned out alright. We had a lot of rain here, but it wasn't really, like, dangerous in any way. It was actually very relaxing. I rather liked it. Big fan of rainstorms, so... You see Snoopy? Yeah, I kind of see it too. It's like, there's his ear, there's his eye, there's his nose. It does look like Snoopy. It really does. I could immediately see Snoopy. This image rocks! Yeah! So cool! So cool. Hello, Dan. Welcome to the Spriting stream, baby. So I showed it off earlier. If anybody wants to see any of the existing assets, let me know. I showed them off at the beginning, but I can do so again. Is it a rock or is it a potato? It is whatever you want it to be, but it is intended to be a rock. Oh shoot, I'm gonna need, let's see, let me open another one. Import, browse Piskel files. I need the grass colors. Piskel's grass. It's a really screwed up looking bomb. I say both. Both is good. Alright, that. And now I need you. I will admit, like, I like Piskel. It's a very good, like, lightweight kind of, spriting engine. But it's also, like, janky in some ways. There are janky bits about it. So, you know, it's got its problems, but for the most part, it's a good spriting system. Kind of looks like a rice ball. Well, it's a rock. It's a rock. I will make more rocks. There will be many rocks. You still eat it? I mean, if you want to. If you try hard enough, I'm sure you can eat a rock. Are you a rock biter? Do you have big, strong hands? They look like big, strong hands, don't they? It's a nose pass? No, it's Snoopy. It's clearly Snoopy. Like, once you said it was Snoopy, I really can't see it as anything other than Snoopy and or a rock. Can you make stone soup with it? Maybe. You gotta work at it, though. You're gonna need a lot of other ingredients to make that stone soup. Stone soup is the same concept as the wombat stew, right? Alright, simple rock. I gotta make a lot of these, so we're not gonna spend too long on any one of them. Rock 1. This is an object. Rock. Rock made. Nope, not import. Export. Download. Well, not a GIF. I don't need a GIF. Download. Objects. Who eats a wombat? Well, a dingo tried to eat a wombat until all of the other animals fooled him. Do use Sprite as well. No, this is the only spriting tool I use. Genuine question, thought, I wonder if my time experimenting with mushrooms in my 20s allows me to see things from another perspective, or if I had that all along. I mean, I'm not really sure. I think that they say that, you know, those kind of experiences can expand your mind. Can't say I've ever done it myself, so I don't know. But you may very well have just had it in you the whole time. Alright, what do I want to do here? Right, let me get rid of this. Let's make another rock. Fortunately, rocks are fairly easy to make. You just kind of make a lump. Just make a lump, and then fill it in with gray. Rocks are easy. It's a very valuable skill to be able to see things from multiple perspectives, though. Not something everyone has. You know, not everyone can see things from various different perspectives, especially someone else's perspective. That's very challenging. Hello, Pebble Plays. Welcome. That's a torpedo from Sea Fox on Commodore 64. Sea Fox. Don't know that game. Is it good? I don't know many Commodore 64 games, admittedly. I never had a Commodore 64. I love the name, though. The Commodore 64. See things from someone else's perspective every time I possess. But I'm normal, human. Do not perceive me. Nice chicken attack! Wait, it didn't play the noise. Did y'all hear the noise? I am spriting. I am spriting for a game jam that myself and Haxthul are working on this week. We are working on a game jam, and it's my first time ever doing so. Wait, there was no sound? There should have been sound. Why was there no sound? You heard something. Okay. This software is called Piskel. Piskel. It is, I believe it's free. It's nothing fancy. The thing I like so much about it is that's very lightweight, but at the same time, that means it has very limited features in a lot of ways. It's kind of missing a lot of niceties you might expect from other software. But, you know, it's not terrible. I rather like it. And I like how it's simple to use. Another one that I've used on my tablet is something called Pixel Studio, which works very well, but I did have to pay for that one. So, you know, if you don't mind oh, that's not right. Doggone it. Ugh. Okay, I know why I did that. I'm going to re-export that one. All right, save that. Okay, I got to open it back up. Import. Piskel files. Rock 1. Rock 1! You're also doing some spriting. Oh, that's fun. What sort of spriting are you doing? If you don't mind sharing. What are you spriting? What are you making? You think you have Pixel Studio. Right, I got you. It works. I rather like Pixel Studio. I've been using that to work on the redesigns of the characters from FF3-6. You're making Fakemon for your Pokemon TTRPG campaign. That's really fun. Fakemon. I think Kenjamin did Fakemon at one point. Kenjamin is another streamer that I'm familiar with. He may come out later, I'm not really sure. But he does streams where he does various spreading. Like he did March of Robots, which is like a bunch. You make a different robot for every day of March. I know he was doing Fakemon at one point, so I think it's cool. Spreading is neat. I mean, I'm not great at it. I like doing it, but I don't have a whole lot of experience with it. I do still like it, though. I think it's fun. Alright, more rocks. Really just making rocks. It is also teaching you inadvertently about different techniques. That's cool. So, are you an accomplished spriter, Pebble? Or are you relatively new to the process? Like, most of my spriting thus far has been in terms of like making emotes and stuff for this channel. Your profile pic is the first is Spriter. I mean, that was the one that was based on Maniac Mansion, right, Echo? Relatively new. Well, enjoy it. It is a fun process. I kind of got into spriting the first time I found out I could make sprites in like The Legend of Zelda or Super Metroid and then inject them into the game. I was so blown away at the idea that something like art that I made existed in a video game that I just suddenly wanted to like find out how to inject my art into like all kinds of other things. I'm like, oh, what game's gonna put what game can I make sprites for? I want to make sprites for this. I want to make sprites for that. Just because I don't know. It's like I've been a lifelong game player, and suddenly seeing something I made in something I love, like a video game, was like, wow, this is incredible, so cool. So it is definitely a fun process. It's also a very approachable process, I think. You know, I don't think it's too hard to get into spriting. I mean, if you want to be like super duper high tier, it's going to take as long as, you know, getting good at any art field. But, you know, just kind of like getting introduced to it, it's really fun. I'm going to put some more bits of grass between these rocks. So yeah, try spriting today. It's fun. The other thing that's interesting about spriting is like how much of an impact like one pixel can make to a visual. Like it reminds me of on a Game Grumps playthrough. Those are some nice words you uttered. Thank you. Every once in a while I utter fine words. Fine, deluxe words dredged up from the depths. Every once in a while, you know, sometimes. It's inspiration. Alright, there's another rock. It's inspirational as I make rock 3. As I make another rock. How many rocks will I make? So many rocks. Hello, Cyber. Wait, are you causing me to magic up Bob Ross? Awesome. Love that. All right, get rid of this rock. And export another rock. Rock 3. All right, let's make something other than a rock. Let's make like let's make a bush. All right. I'll keep rock 3 open so I have it. Show me your skills of an artist. It'll make an S and more different S. I love Homestar Runner stuff. I was listening to Cheat Commandos earlier today. Like the what do you call it? Just the Cheat Commandos episodes. And it's so freaking funny, man. Like, the most amazing thing, I think, about Homestar Runner as, like, a cartoon is that it is still funny. Like, it really does not cease to be funny. Like, it's such strikingly timeless humor, and it's amazing. And I think it's because they just really didn't focus on, like, any sort of, like, pop culture or any of that. It's just kind of, like, solid humor, and I love it. Cheat Commandos or like Homestar Runner in general is just so clever. Your computer drawing right now too? Everybody's doing drawings and such. Fantastic. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear that people are arting hither and yon. What sort of computer drawing are you doing, Dan? Are you drawing a computer? At the computer? With the computer? That's why Daria is your favorite cartoon, timeless. That's interesting. I mean, I didn't really watch Daria. I was not a disaffected young woman when it came out. My sister watched Daria, but I did not. Process maps for work. Okay, yeah, that is less fun. That does sound a lot less fun, frankly. A bit more than slightly less fun. It sounds quite less fun. But, yeah, I never really watched Daria. And, so, like, I don't know what about, like, I don't know much about it, but I'm surprised to hear it was timeless. It feels like it was very much of its time. It feels like it had really strong 90s vibes, but that's not the case. I think the thing that's always shocked me the most about Daria was that she originally came from Beavis and Butthead, right? Can y'all hear the music, by the way? There is music playing. See, I'm picking apart SQL scripts that are 5 to 10 pages and mapping them out visually. I bet you're jelly. Totally jelly right now. I know, right? I'm jelly. I'm a jelly roll. I'm jelly roll Morton right now. About your process charts. It's very 90s, but it's more of an outcast living in a normal world. She's smarter than everyone has to deal with that. Yeah, I get that. No music, just some chick yawning a lot. Okay, so you could hear the operatic singing? Gotcha. Just so long as you can hear it. I do think it's a lovely song, though. Daria has strong 90s vibes, but the emotional core about confusion, difficult interpersonal relationships will be relevant to some public forever. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I didn't grow up watching it, so I don't know much about it, but it does sound like, I mean, I know it was famous for a reason. It also has one episode that makes you, like, Futurama the dog. I have never seen the Futurama dog episode, and it's probably good that I've never seen it, because it sounds like it's a heartbreaker. Futurama is definitely a show that I wanted to watch more of and just never really gave myself the opportunity. This one? Is this the right color? Okay, yeah, that's right. Dara's an odd character. Mike Judge didn't create her. She was shoehorned in by the producers. I'm glad to hear it, Pebble Plays. Yeah, I mean, I do these every once in a while, these little art streams, for different things. I still haven't put up the last art stream, and guess why? It's because, again, I have not made a thumbnail for it because I'm a lazy butt, and I don't want to use Dan's generously offered thumbnail twice in a row. So I am actually going to make a real thumbnail this time, but all right, bush done. Made a bush. Oh, thank you for following. Bush one. Was it talking about Mike Judge? Yeah, actually, I'm not surprised to hear that Mike Judge didn't create her because she doesn't really seem like a Mike Judge character. For all that I really don't have that much experience with Mike Judge stuff. It's like when I hear about what do you call it? King of the Hill. And is there a way to force Photoshop into pixel mode? Probably, but I don't know what it would be. I actually don't use Photoshop much at all. We're all artistic, or maybe autistic. We're all something. Yay! You like games with retro-styled art or just pixel art in general? I would agree. I rather like pixel art, you know, like... Actually, if that's the case, you're in the right place, Pebble, because I play a whole heck of a lot of old games on this channel. Yeah, whenever I hear people talking about, like, King of the Hill... It always kind of gets me because, like, I didn't watch King of the Hill growing up or anything like that. And so, it just sort of feels like everyone is part of something that I don't know anything about. And it's like, oh, okay. The funniest one for me is when people call it Koth, like cough. You know, whenever I see someone like describe King of the Hill as cough, it always makes me laugh because they're like, cough? Oh, you're watching the Yoshi's Island! It's very old. A game in particular that has a very specific art style, Caves of Qued. Never heard of. Let's look it up. Bip. Caves of Qued. Oh, wow. Look at this. That's interesting. Oh. It looks like early Ultima. It looks like Ultima 1 or 2. That's pretty cool. Look at that. It really looks like Ultima 1 or 2. That's neat. Cool. Never heard of it. Cud, like a cow is a cud. Lo, he climbed Mount Droon and held the chalice high. Koth, give me power, he proclaimed. And then it provided for him propane and propane accessories. So is Caves of Cud like the is that a game that's out? It looked like it wasn't out yet. Like, is it just something that you like the look of, or is it actually a game you've played? I don't really do very much Steam stuff. So there's a lot of like Steam I don't know. It's been out for a while. Okay, well there you go. I did not know. It is out. Cool. It's a game you have many hours in. So what is it like? Like, is it Is it like an old RPG where you have to like input commands? Like, does it have like a text parser or something? It looked very, very based on quite old games. Yes, I have an allergy to my Steam Deck that is currently sitting under a chair in my living room. I never use it. I feel terrible because I bought it hoping it would draw me into using it more often. I'd be like, yeah, this will get me into more Steam games. And then it's just like, or I could just stick it under a chair in my living room and never use it for anything. I played like one stream of like UFO 51 and then just did nothing else with it. Or put it under the chair to think about what's. Honestly, I'll tell you what it was. I wanted to set up the dock, but I didn't have any more HDMI ports at the time. And so I just kept saying, all right, well, I'll set this up once I've got more open ports. And then that just never happened. It just never happened. No, that ever came of it. I've got more open ports now. It's just hasn't changed. Has a very special place in your heart. It's an open world RPG with numpad key movement, deep character. It really sounds like the early Ultima games. You might even look into like trying to find Ultima 1 or 2 on like a I mean, it'd be pretty hard to like track down the appropriate computer, so you probably have to emulate it somehow, but it does sound an awful lot like Ultima. Alright, that's kind of a bush. Sure, that's a bush. We'll go for it. Add the grass around the base. That's my bush. Alright. New bush. Bush 2. Really don't know how many objects I'm gonna need to make. So we're just gonna keep cranking them out, baby. Just keep making more and more bushes. Objects or whatever. You tried pointing out good games you can play or games that were cheaper, and everyone was like, yeah, but I could spend more money if I play it elsewhere. And then he laughed and rolled up $20 bills and lit them like a cigarette, mocking a group of poor children. Yeah, all of that happened, actually. It's a common occurrence. It's cool. It was just because as the sentence went along, you realized more and more that I was like a high roller that you could never get close to. And so gradually you just started thinking, it's like, I can't directly address him, or he will get angry at me and send out the completely in his pocket police force that he controls to take my home and all of my resources. Unless I address him as Mr. Moe. Mr. Moe. Mr. Chicken. Excuse me, Mr. Chicken? I made a reference to, they call me Mr. Tibbs the other day. And people didn't get it. And I was like, oh. Even though the only reason I get it is because I looked it up. This kind of looks like a little monster, doesn't it? Can you see the eyes? It's got two little eyes. It's like, meh. What, who? Fix that. Yeah, the only reason I know they call me Mr. Tibbs thing is because when Pumbaa says it in The Lion King, it seemed like it was so clearly a reference that I had to like look for, like I had to look it up. I was like, what is this? They call me Mr. Pig, and then I found out they call me Mr. Tibbs, and Sidney Poitier says it, and it's very impressive. It was like a squat toad. I can see that. Calling the Moe Cernaries. I do the lie down lurk. 10:30 a.m. Don't get old. All right, catch you later. Thanks for coming out, Echo. Feel free to lurk away. Oh, also, Pebble. Wait. That's how I know what that is? Yeah. I've never seen In the Heat of the Night. I've only ever seen that one clip of him saying they call me Mr. Tibbs. But yeah, it's definitely because of Pumbaa from The Lion King. I don't watch movies. Except The Lion King, apparently, which is a movie. Oh, that's right. I was gonna say, if you are interested in seeing some of my other work or my other streams, like if you like old games, all of my streams are archived over on YouTube, youtube.com/c/MoeChicken. So you can check out like StreamBot and stuff there if you want to. Just want to let you know that if you enjoy this tonight and want to see more of it, there is more of it available for you on the internets. So there you go. They're pretty good movies. Is there more than one? I only knew In the Heat of the Night. Now I remember there was like a TV show. That's actually mostly what I know In the Heat of the Night as, is that the TV show where it was like, in the heat of the night. There's 4 or 5 of them? Seriously? Oh wow, I had no idea. Is Sidney Poitier in all of them? Mr. Tibbs? The second movie is called They Call Me Mr. Tibbs, I think. Interesting. They call me Mr. Tibbs. What do they call you back there? They call me Mr. Tibbs. Lion King 1, 2, 3, and 1.5. Wait, are we talking about the same thing? Cyber and Dana, are you guys talking past each other? Or Dan, are you just trying to confuse me like you often do? Or you're just being a little troublemaker? Wasn't trying to. Oh, well, that's nice. That's a nice change. All right, another bush. Hooray! Another bush. Bush 3. Good. Save as. We're just gonna keep cranking out bushes or cranking out objects. That's the goal. Let's see. All right, export. No, export this. Perfect for knocking berries off of. Oh, that's right. I should probably make an actual berry bush too. Let's make a bush that is clearly the bush that has the berries on it. Because presumably not every bush would actually have berries. It would just be the bushes that clearly have berries on them that you would want to go for to get berries. A likely story. No. Boop. In the heat. That's gonna be stuck in my head now. I remember that show, and I used to get that show's opening mixed up with the Rescue 911 opening, which when I was a kid, my mom and dad and I, well, pretty much the whole family really, we would sit down after dinner and we would watch Rescue 911 and Unsolved Mysteries. And I always remember the Rescue 911 opening. So it had like a bunch of like police cars and stuff in it. All right, now I'm gonna need the actual color of the you can definitely tell my preference for like limited color spriting, because I only ever use like a couple of colors in one of these. Like I do dithering when I really don't even need to dither. I got plenty of colors available. I just still dither. I still dither hither and yon. All right, so you. So this is the actual berry bush. Unsolved Mysteries is on Prime Video. You know what I was wanting to look for on Pluto the other day, is Looney Tunes cartoons. I was hoping I could find a channel that just had like Looney Tunes, but I didn't find any actually. They had other cartoon channels, but they didn't have a Looney Tunes one. I was very disappointed because I kind of miss Looney Tunes. Like, I know they're problematic nowadays. I mean, they're from like the 30s, the 1930s, so they're very old. But I grew up with them. I kind of miss Looney Tunes stuff. All right, does that? Boop, 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 boop. Oh, I also forgot that Shatner hosted Not Rescue 911, but you're right, he did. That's crazy. William Shatner. I wonder if that's clear enough that these are berries. We need it to be clear that this is where you get the berries. So yeah, I mean you can tell that it's like a purple. It looks different at least. Okay, that's cool. We'll go for it. Trash this. Export, download, berry bush. Prime Video is an Unsolved Mysteries channel. All right, we're gonna start to need some trees now. Nope, no preferences. So height. I really like this song that's playing right now. This is I've told y'all about this before. There's an album of like smooth, like not smooth jazz, but like, well, yeah, I guess smooth jazz Mega Man X songs. It's so good. This, I believe, is this Frost? I think this is Frost. No, this is one of the stages in Sigma's castle. It's just such a good song. It's like, oh my gosh. I used to draw so many of this type of tree when I was a kid. Because like I was very impacted by Donkey Kong Country when I was like probably late elementary, early middle school, and I decided to make like my own island that had my head on it, and was very much based on Donkey Kong Country. And so I would always draw these like myriad, I guess you'd call it a banana tree, on the island. And I just got so used to drawing this type of like tree. Let's see. Tubi has the Looney Tunes cartoons along with the Looney Tunes show that aired in the 2010s. Tubi. Is that a paid service? I don't know if I have that one. I was thinking of just trying to get Boomerang. Because I know I can get Boomerang on my, what do you call it? Prime Fire Stick thing, the Amazon Fire Stick. I've got one of those. Tubi is free. Okay. Yeah, you're the one that turned me on to like Pluto, and Pluto's awesome. I like Pluto TV. I was having my dad use it here when he was here the other day because my dad's a big fan of television. He will just spend most of his day watching TV, which worries my mom. Kind of worries all of us, but you know, it's his life. But whenever he comes to visit me, I don't really have TV because I pretty much watch only YouTube. And so I had to find some sort of something he could watch on TV. And then I found out about Pluto TV, and it turned out to be just the ticket. So thank you, Jimmy Jam. Thank you, Jimmy Jam. I think one of the other things that's cool about doing sprite work is it really forces you to like think about like the real, like what is absolutely necessary to convey certain things, you know? Like what elements of this object are strictly necessary to convey what we're looking at here. You know, there's a lot of like abstraction to making sprites, and it's fascinating. It's a really fun art medium. Even though I use Prime Video, Tubi, Plex, and Pluto TV, I still have traditional cable spectrum. Yeah, see, I don't have traditional cable, so can't do anything about that. Shadows look great. Thank you. Glad to hear it. I'm hoping that these look good in the finished product, but we'll have to see. Actually, yeah, Hacks, if you want to send me some in motion images, I can share by the end of the stream if you'd like. It's up to you if you want to share or not. I'm not sure, but I'll be happy to do so. I do hope we get a finished product by the end of the week, though. It's crazy how fast time flies when you're under the gun like that. It's like, uh-oh. It's already Tuesday. It's Tuesday evening. I'm still just making palm trees. Sent the current game link. You should be able to see some stuff in there. Ooh, very nice. Okay, we'll check that out before the end of the stream. Don't let me forget. Nope, not good. This is surprisingly straight looking palm tree here. Plus, Spectrum's live TV app does something you really like. What is that? What does it do that you enjoy, Mr. Jimmy Jam? The channel's in HD, it actually streams at 60 FPS. Ooh, that's fancy. Very schmancy fancy. With 1080i channels, which the videos even de-interlace, which I like. Oh. Speaking of interlacing, that was something that Mr. Brutal Moose explained the other day, which was actually very interesting to hear about. I never knew what progressive meant as far as video works and like how interlacing worked and all that. Ian brought it up the other day because he was frustrated with the fact that the Animal Crossing video wasn't progressive, and he like explained what it was, and I had heard those terms for years, and I didn't know what it meant. I was like, oh, I don't know what that means. Progressive wide or progressive scan. I don't know. Assume it's something important, but I don't know what it is. But yeah, he explained it. It was interesting. I had no idea how it all worked. I'll give this a harder outline. I'll admit though, once I found out what progressive and interlacing was, I find myself really wondering why interlacing was used in the first place. Because it seems much more complicated to produce a worse picture. So I was like, what? GameCube games are for the most part in 480i, but some do 480p through component cables. It's interesting. I don't know. Bandwidth. That's a good reason. That is a solid reason. All right. Tree. Did it. More classic palm tree here. What is this song? Oh, Tsubasa Chronicle. Okay. Did y'all ever watch Tsubasa Chronicle? I remember seeing that back when it was still new and being like... I mean, I was really excited because at the time I really liked Cardcaptor Sakura. And when I found out that it was supposed to have like Sakura and Shaoran as main characters, I was like, oh, awesome. I like that. And then the actual show, the main show wasn't bad. But after the show ended, I was like, oh, I should read the manga too. And the manga was very different. The manga had an almost pathological obsession with hurting the characters as much as possible. The manga was very brutal towards the characters. Yeah, that wasn't a fun experience for me, frankly. I was like, oh, I didn't really want to watch, or I didn't want to read this story about like all of these characters having their lives torn to shreds after I just said I like them. But, you know, I mean, it had impact. There's that, I guess. Unexpected impact, but it did have impact. I don't really watch very much anime anymore, though. I used to be really into anime. And then I got more into, manga, and then I got more into light novels. And that's kind of the popular Japanese media that I consume nowadays is light novels. So I guess a question for y'all out there as well. Since I mentioned that this is going to be done for a game jam, has anyone out there ever done a game jam? Have you ever been involved with one of these? I've heard of them before. I actually thought that when Hacks explained that this one would take place over the course of a week, I was excited because I had always heard that they were just like either one day or just like a weekend. I didn't know that they could actually extend for a full week, which is a lot more reasonable for me. You know, that means I can potentially support. It's been pretty fun so far. I mean, it's just cool to see like these things actually like come together and like exist, I guess. Atelier Iris 2 music. Atelier Iris. Apparently the way it's supposed to be pronounced. I liked Atelier Iris 2 okay. I liked 3 more. 1 wasn't very good at all, though, in my opinion. 1 was kind of a mess. They hadn't quite figured out what they were doing yet. Like, for those who aren't familiar, the Atelier series, it's a long-running series of RPGs that are based around, like, alchemical crafting. And my first exposure to them was... Well, my first exposure to them was really Argenelica 1, which was basically an Atelier game with a different setting. But I first was introduced to them thinking that they were supposed to be RPGs with like crafting elements in them. Let's see. I've seen some other people stream and rate other game jams once they finish theirs. I really enjoy that part. Ooh. Cool. Tree. Palm tree too. Oh, Hacks, this is a good question. Do you have the ability to flip sprites in the game engine? If so, I don't need to give you like the flipped versions of things, but if you don't, I can give you the flipped versions of things. Like I could very easily just do this and give you an inverted version, but if you already have that, I don't want to like force it down your throat. So let me know if you can already flip things or if you need me to do it for you. You can flip them. Okay, well then I won't worry about it. That'll make things easier on me. Alright, palm tree 2. Another palm tree! I mean, the essence of why I'm making so many assets like this is that you want the world to be full of, like, stuff, but you also want it to be... you don't want it to be immediately obvious that you had to reuse assets. So I want hacks to have enough stuff that they can fill the world with objects, but also it just look like the same object tiled over and over again. Because that's no good. That's not going to look good if we do that. We want to be able to fill it, nope, with different things. Once again, though, thank you so much for offering to do this with me, Hacks. I have really been enjoying myself, so I am eager to see what is turned up at the end. Does anybody know how often these game jam things happen? Like, is it like a once a year thing? Is it something that happens multiple times a year? It's a funny thing, isn't it? Whenever people are working on like a collective project where each individual in the project has like really different skills, everyone always thinks the other people are doing the hard work. Like I'm doing this and I'm just sort of like, oh, but Hax is doing the real hard work. But at the same time, Hax was saying that, like, you know, they don't have experience with graphics, so it's making things look better than they would have been. I don't know. I get the same thing at work, at my regular job, because I do graphics for work, and it's always really gratifying when someone's like, "Wow, this looks so good. It would have taken me forever." Blah blah blah, and I'm just like, yeah, but you wrote the actual report, right? Like that's hard too. I guess it's a good thing to have that kind of relationship where everyone thinks the other person is doing all the work. It's like everybody thinks the other person was working hard, and so everyone feels gratified that their work is being appreciated. Your solo game is going to be in black and white. Well, hopefully we make something a little bit more fun than that. I'm also hoping that I can get enough of the visuals done so that I can hopefully contribute some sort of music to the game. Because as I was laying awake in bed last night, not being able to fall asleep because I had another one of my fun insomnia nights last night. I I kept thinking it's like, oh, I could write a song that's like this or like this. Oh, but I gotta finish the sprites first. So I told myself, it's like, you can't work on that today. You gotta work on the sprites first. Music can come later. And I was like trying to come up with like little sound effects too, and like just a bunch of little thises and that's. Been going for an hour and 15 already. I simultaneously feel like I'm making a lot of progress and at the same time not making enough progress at all. Like I've made a fair number of objects now, but... Alright, there's another tree. Another tree! What do you think about the jungle trees? Well, I guess it depends on what kind of tree you want. Maybe we should look up what trees naturally show up in island jungles. Let's see. Island jungle trees. Looks like a lot of palm stuff. Okay. I can make some little, like, those little short things. I don't know what they're called. Try and make that. Let's try and make that. I wonder if this would be easier if I wasn't using a mouse. Typically when I do like any sort of sprite work, I will use a mouse to do it. I could do this with a pen, but it doesn't feel like it would work as well. Wait, well, can I put y'all down here? I can put y'all down here, give me a sec. Put y'all on another screen. Not this one, I need the other one, there we go. Alright, you can live down here. Congratulations, you're on a different screen now. Sorry if I go quiet. This is kind of a... Sometimes it can be thinky work. What the... Oh. That's one thing I'm not wild about with this particular spriting tool I use, Piskel. it doesn't have really great movement controls. Like, I feel like with most art programs that I use, there's some sort of a button or something you can hold down that will allow you to move the camera around with the mouse. This one doesn't have that. You have to hold shift and just kind of like tap a direction button. It's not ideal, but you know, again, like I said before, it's lightweight, and that's what I like about it. You know, doesn't have a whole ton of features. It's easy to deal with. Looks so rough. I guess that's okay. It's not my favorite. More trees! More trees! Thank you. I appreciate that, Cyber. Let's do a shorter tree. And let's get some different colors. Kind of more like a banana leaf tree. $420 blaze it, yo! Yeah, right? Isn't that right, fellow kids? I know all about blazing it. Of course I do. Why would you think otherwise? I guess it does unintentionally look like a pod leaf. Oops, sorry. Not my intent at all. Sprigatito's inspired. This game's music was so good. Anybody out there ever play Tales of Legendia for the PS2? Holy crap, man, that game's music was amazing. That's what we're listening to right now, is Tales of Legendia music. I think I've talked about this before, but the funny thing about the two uh, Tales games that came out on the PS2 is that the two games that came out, at least in America, on PS2 for Tales were Tales of the Abyss and Tales of Legendia. And what's really funny about it to me is that Tales of the Abyss was heavily based around a musical theme. There was this whole idea of like that the world followed what they called the score, which was like this divine revelation. And like all the menus had like looked like they were made on like musical notation paper, and there was just a lot of like music elements to it. Well, that game used MIDI music. And then Tales of Legendia, which had nothing to do with musical composition or musical notation or anything. In fact, it was more of a nautically themed game. It had a full orchestrated soundtrack. I just think it's really funny that they sprung for like the full orchestra soundtrack for the game that didn't have anything to do with orchestration and like music notation, and then for the game that did have a lot to do with music and like orchestral things. It was just like, nah, man, we don't need to pay for that. It's fine. I still have not played Stone of Mana again. You love this plant? Fantastic. I'm glad to hear it. Give it a little bit of a harder edge on the bottom so it stands out a bit better. You can add shadows to the base of things so they have a little bit of time. That's probably going to be a good thing, yeah. Alright, height. Lost a little bit here at the top. Took a little off the top. Make sure there aren't any obvious holes. Hang on. Okay. Make it a little bit more solid so it doesn't have a whole lot of big gaps. Okay, cool. I will call this short tree 1, save, yep. Export. What? No, export. All right, let's see. What have I made thus far? Okay, so we made berry bush, 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 rock, palm tree, palm tree, palm tree, palm tree, rock, rock, short tree. Still not enough, man. We need so many assets. It takes forever. Alright, keep going. Let's do another tree kind of like this one. Alright, fill things in. Fill of the future. Maybe some birds flying around. Yeah, I'm going to try to avoid working on anything tonight that involves a lot of animation, because it will slow things down too much. Like, I think if we can get to the point where we've got a well-populated world with like lots of objects to look at, that will be more useful than having like a couple of extra animated bits. Same thing for if we get enough done as far as visuals go, or environmental objects go, we could potentially add in an additional character, like another Lyrig. And that could be fun to have, but it's not strictly necessary. So for right now, I'm mostly interested in bulking up the object base. If that makes sense. Hopefully it does. This will be a lot less fun without enough. Like, if the world feels too like sparse or empty, it's gonna be less fun. It's gonna just be like picking stuff up off the ground. But if there's like a lot there that people can like walk around and like explore, that's gonna be way more fun than the alternative. So I want you, hacks, to have enough objects to populate the world with like a bunch of stuff. Ooh, this is a good one. This is Timber from FF8. Very good song. Do you like Final Fantasy VIII? I used to not really like FF8 that much. It's one of those games where I think it's better if you have someone like advocate for it, you know? Like if you have someone... There are a lot of games like that in my life where I didn't like them until someone else told me why I should like them, you know? Until I had someone like come along and really appreciate such and such game and be like, this is why it's good and people don't see this part and blah blah blah. It suddenly becomes much more interesting. Are many of the Final Fantasy games all that different from each other? You only had one on GBA. Yeah, they're pretty different from each other. Which one did you have on GBA? I think the GBA one... Well, GBA had a bunch of them. Like, each Final Fantasy game is pretty different from the others, honestly. Gel coordinated art style palette, or are you just winging it? Pretty much just winging it, honestly. I'm just going for general jungle theme colors and such. 7. Okay, 7 would not have been on GBA. Maybe 6? I mean, if it was sprite-based, it would... Like, I think GBA had 1 and 2, 4, 5, and 6 were released on GBA. So it's probably one of them. But yeah, they're all pretty different from each other, frankly. I mean, they have like similar mechanics a lot of the time, but the storylines are pretty diverse. FF8 is probably your favorite game of all time. Wow. You avoided it initially because you didn't have PlayStation, didn't like the realistic art style. That's interesting, Cyber. I didn't know that. Favorite game of all time. Interesting. I was also kind of turned off by the realistic art style at first. And I would say FF8 does play differently than a lot of the other ones. But in a good way, in a way that's distinct. Cyber, I guess you know that I played FF8, right? I played through, I think you were here for that. But yeah, it's not a bad game. It's just different. It's a different kind of game. Alright, let's do a new one. Oh, there it is. That part's so good. A friend who doesn't even like RPGs recommended it. Oh, that's pretty cool. So, if you don't mind me asking, what is it about FF8 that you don't normally get invested in the story, but FF8 hit you in the feels? Cool. That's interesting. Was it like the love story? Was it the sort of like the sense of a bunch of childhood friends reconnecting in a way that they hadn't expected? Like what aspect of the story was it that really hit you? Because like there's a lot of stuff in that game that has a lot of like interpersonal I would say FF8 is one of the more emotional Final Fantasy games. I mean, I think, if I remember correctly, that was the intent, was that when they were designing it, they're like, we want this one to be more focused on the people rather than some grand story. It's because Mr. Moody Emo for Squall. You just liked Squall. He's an interesting character. Like, at first I didn't like him because I remember when that game first came out, I mean, you know, I guess you could say I had a pretty happy upbringing. And so I didn't really, like, connect with his nihilistic, apathetic personality. And I was just like, why is this guy like this? He's just mean to everybody. What the heck? Like, why is he this way? I just thought he was a jerk when I was a kid. And then as you get a little bit older and you've experienced more things in life, you're like, oh, okay, I guess I get why this character is like this. So, I mean, you think about his, like, what happened in his life as a child. You know, he was effectively abandoned in an orphanage. And, you know, he had, like, a character that he thought of as his sister, and she vanished. And he didn't know how to get along with any of the other kids in the orphanage, so, like, it really was an instance where, like, he grew up pretty alone, frankly. I also like the fact that by the end of the game, he acknowledges that, you know, part of the reason that happened was because he was afraid to reach out and make relationships with new people. You know, it's cool. It's emotionally aware, might be a good way to put FF8. It's a lot more emotionally aware than other games. Although, if that's the kind of thing you like, I think you might check out Tales games. Tales games also have a whole lot of emotional content to them, like too much in my opinion. I kind of feel like Tales games are a bummer sometimes. But it's because they spend a lot of time on the emotional content of things. There's also a lot of tragedy in a lot of them, which I can do without most of the time. Like, truth be told, I think I've told y'all about this before. I played Tales of the Abyss at a time in my life when things were like kind of difficult for me. It wasn't a great time in my life, and I extremely connected with the main character, Luke, in that game, to the point where I actually haven't been able to go back and play it again because I'm concerned it would impact me too much. Like, it was, I hesitate to say it was a life-altering experience because that's a bit extreme, but it was that kind of like, wow, this is me. I am this character. Uh-oh. You know, it's like, what this guy's going through definitely feels like something that I can connect with. Uh-oh, I didn't really want to get this connected to a video game. Oops. And I don't know, there's something to be said for that. Because, like, I think I've told you all this before as well. One very pivotal moment in my life was when my aunt told me that I was a spoiled brat, which was something I didn't know about myself at the time. I knew that being a spoiled brat was a bad thing, but I never thought that I was that. And it was so jarring at the time that it like completely changed my outlook on life. And suddenly I got this strong sensation of like, I need to make it up to the world kind of thing. It's like, oh, I'm a spoiled brat. I should apologize to the world for the rest of my life. Like, I remember my psychiatrist used to tell me, it's like, maybe you don't need to carry that burden around with you for the rest of your life. But I'm like, no, I haven't made up for it yet. I was a brat when I was younger. But getting back to Tales of the Abyss, Luke kind of goes through the same thing. He has this moment where circumstances make him realize that through his whole life he has been, brat isn't the right word, although he does have bratty behavior, but like, I guess problematic, emotionally problematic. And it causes him to have to go through a lot of like self-discovery. Yeah, no Mo Brat Summer, right. A whole lot of like self-discovery where he's like, I've got to figure out where I fit in the world. And it really connected with me in an uncomfortably accurate way. To the point where I haven't played the game since. I was like, I don't know if I can play Tales of the Abyss anymore. Which is a shame, because it's a good game. That's the thing about the Tales games, is that they're very well made. I don't want to play them. Because they make me sad. Alright, another bush. This short tree. 3. Exports. Imagining Mo with tiny hips, big feet, and eyes. Oh, like brats. Let's see, what would that look like? This would be like, I'd have the passion for fashion. And have like a little tiny beak. Green wasn't the best choice for this. Wait, no. Were brats the ones with the big feet? I thought, I thought the Diva stars are the ones with the big feet. If you stuck around this long in the stream, you get a bonus drawing. Nice. Is that better? Yeah, it looks terrible. All right, let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right. What else can we make? Let me make some downed logs. That might be a good thing to have. Speaking of feels, this song always gets me into feels. This is from Radical Dreamers. It's kind of like the I guess you could say it's like, it's not kids theme, but it's like the contemplative, like thinking back on kid kind of song. It's a very pretty song. It's also very sad. It's a song about, you know, kind of like a lost relationship, a lost love. That was another thing about Radical Dreamers that I was surprised about when I played it again. When I played it for y'all, I was like, you know, this game actually is sadder than I realized. I just remember being so excited about it when I first played it, because I'm like, oh, it's like Chrono Trigger, but it's like the lost Chrono Trigger. Oh, so cool. That I guess I just didn't notice how it was like a bummer at times. There's like a lot of like tragic moments in it, and it actually has more in common with Chrono Cross than I realized, which I'm not wild about, but it's a log. Yeah. It wait, how does it start? It rolls downstairs alone or in pairs, and it will roll over your neighbor's dog. It's great for a snack. It fits on your back. It's log, log, log. It's log, it's log, it's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's log, it's better than bad, it's good. Everyone needs a log. You're gonna love it, log. Come on and get your log. Everyone needs a log. Log, 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 log. I really liked Ren and Stimpy as a kid. Like, Ren and Stimpy hit at like a time when, at least among me and my friends, we all wanted to be called weird. And so anything that was like strange was really exciting. So like, you know, Ren and Stimpy was definitely strange when it came out. And, you know, it's not necessarily an adult cartoon, but it has some adult-oriented humor in it. And, you know, we didn't get it. Like, you know, there were so many things where it was sort of like, yeah, it's just weird. You know, you just kind of like write it off as weird. It's like, oh, that's just weird. Like, apparently, Rocko's Modern Life has a lot of that. Like, adult-oriented humor that just didn't resonate at all when I was a kid. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's fine. I don't know what this is trying to get across. Like, I remember there was there was at least one episode of Rocko's Modern Life where Rocco was trying to buy a new doggy dish for Spunky. And he went to, you know, the dog dish store or whatever, and it was, I think the joke was that it was like a dog dish emporium or something. It was like supposed to be this big grand store with all the dog dishes you could ever want. And they had a tour, and the tour guide was something like, everyone get on the doggy style train. All right, everyone on their hands and knees, then let's go. And as a kid, I was like, oh yeah, doggy style, that makes sense. You have to get on your hands and knees because that's how dogs look. That's not what they were getting at. It's not quite what they meant by that joke. And I didn't get it. I was a kid, and I didn't know what they were talking about. It's the doggy style ride, because you get on your hands and knees because you're like a dog, right? Makes sense. Nope. Nope. It means something else. That's okay. Put a little bit of like mold on this, just kind of make it a little bit grosser. All right, it's a log. Log 1. Grass and ice, dude. Thank you. Again, you know, I want this to look nice. I want us to have enough objects that, you know, the world feels like kind of like full of things. You know, I want it to feel like you're not just walking around in a field. And I'm sorry to say, Hacks, part of this will be on you. You're going to have to populate the world with these objects I'm giving you. So sorry about that, but you know, hopefully I will have provided you with enough that it won't be too difficult to accomplish. Freaking drag, you can manage that. Alright, well, cool. Yeah, again, speaking as someone who has never done one of these, I just really want to make sure that I am supporting you in a way that is helpful and functional for what we're trying to accomplish here. I hate the idea of being a bottleneck. I'm the same way at work, too. Probably for the aforementioned, I feel like I owe the world for the fact that I was a brat as a kid. I hate the idea of anyone having to wait on me for anything at work. And so anytime I get any sort of like visual request or whatever, I get on it as fast as I can, I get it done as fast as I can so that there will be more than enough time to make edits and all that stuff. I want to make sure that people have what they need. That they are not held up because that darn graphic designer won't get off their ass and make the visuals I asked them to make. Ugh. Speaking of visuals, actually, this was kind of fun. I finally received the merch that I ordered from my own merch store last year. It finally came in today. I was like, oh, look at this. I remember ordering this last year. Super cool. But it came out very well. It's nice. I got the Magister Maria's Strange Brew shirt and tote bag. And they look very nice. I'm actually wearing one of them right now. You can guess which one. Is it the shirt or is it the tote bag? Which of these two pieces of clothing am I wearing? No, I don't have the mochi yet. I want the mochi, though. I'm excited about the mochi. Also, look, everybody, it's Hollyham! Yay! She's back from foreign climes. Welcome back, Holly. It's great to see you again, my apparent daughter. Dressed in a bag. I'm only half in the bag. It's a me, Abio. Abio. You're very welcome. I am glad to take your Father's Day wishes, despite the fact that I am not your father. I will accept these. I will be confused by them, but I will accept them. It looks too vibrant, though. Why does this look so vibrant? All right. So how are things abroad? Hobby? Did your workshop / learning experience go well? Did you get everything done that you needed to? Can get why they usually have multiple people doing this. It's a lot to do on one's own. All right, let's do some little objects now. Okay. Workshop was good. It's cool to hear from people from other professionals in different countries and hear how different they do things. That's awesome. I'm glad that you went. It sounds like it was a good experience. That's wonderful. All right, so we're gonna make some little stuff now. Helsinki was really nice to visit. Stockholm and Copenhagen were nice, but more expensive and touristy. That makes sense. What could this strange object be? It's kind of like a lump, really. You didn't see the sun set for 2 weeks? What? What? Oh, is that far enough north that there's like it doesn't get dark at night? What's Jim drawing? Just kind of a stick, really. Just a weirdly shaped stick. All right, stick. Stick one. It's a vanilla eclair. It would dip below the horizon but never properly get dark. I could not live with that. That would drive me crazy. Oh, I need dark. I get frustrated that that it takes forever to get dark here. Like the other day, it was like 9 o'clock, and there was still a little bit of sunlight, and I was like, "This is awful. This is awful." Because it just confuses me, really. I just get so like, I just don't know what time it is. You know, it'll be like 7 o'clock, and I'll think it's like 4:30 or something. And it'll drive me crazy. It just really throws me off. This kind of looks like a little bit like a taro root. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a brown peacock. All of these things and more. It's whatever you want it to be. It's a pixel mess that is just gonna go on the ground. Just a little plot for the ground. Get rid of that one. Stick two. It's a mandrake. Yeah, I could see that. Another! Another! This one goes this way. It's pretty easy to make up sticks with pixels. You just kind of like, now this brown shape is the newest stick. Now it looks like this. Are you ready? How long have I been streaming? I don't even know. Let's see. Oh, shoot, I'm at 2 hours. I hope this has been entertaining for y'all. Just hanging out and watching me make little sprites and such. Because I mean, again, this is what I had to do tonight. Like I was like, I gotta make more sprites because we're running out of days, so I gotta get in as much as I can. Depending on how things go, we might have another. It's even easier as a balloon animal. We might have another stream of this on Thursday, depending on how far along I get tomorrow. But we'll see. I don't know. Hopefully it's been fun. Export. Let's see. Let's do... I'll go a little bit longer. I'll make some more small objects. Alright. Who are you? Let's make a... fun scene all come together. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that it is coming together for you. I want us to make something cool. That's the goal. Mushroom. Oh, that's right. We have to show off the what you sent me hacks. Don't let me end the stream without doing that. Remind me. I may very well forget again. Mushroom, mushroom. Mushroom, mushroom. Mushroom, mushroom. That was a weird time in the internet when like badger mushroom was significant. There were just so many things that were just I guess it was a very Flash oriented time period, because you just had all these little like Flash cartoons that were just like E-Bombs World stuff, Where it was just kind of like, this is the thing. I made this. Here you go. Enjoy. And that was content at the time. It was just like, yeah, it's a thing. There you go. There's the thing. Or like, did anyone ever watch, be warned there was some placeholder audio picking up and dropping objects. Which shouldn't be, oh, okay, that's what you mean. When you said something about audio, I immediately assumed that the audio in my stream was bad and I was going to be upset. Because I always get upset when my audio is bad. I always get upset and whiny. Like, my audio, though. If only I tested my audio before I streamed, but I don't do that. I just complain on stream. That's way better. So talking about... Oh yeah, did anyone ever watch Weeble and Bob when that was out? I used to watch like Weeble and Bob episodes. It was like such a weird like idea. Just these two little like, I don't know, eggs, just a couple little eggs, and they would just say random things. As any engineer, you're always supposed to test in production. Exactly, exactly. That's how it goes. Lets you feel like you're behind the scenes. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, there's a curtain that is always drawn on my streams. Absolutely. Do not look at the man behind the curtain. Let's do some little flowers too. All right, go to you. We've got some mushes. Do some little flowers here. You know, I always get frustrated with the fact that there aren't any green flowers, because I think green's a really pretty color. And then every once in a while in like a game or something, you see a green flower and you're like, oh, I guess that's why. Because it just looks like leaves. It just doesn't look like a flower, it looks like leaves. I kind of want to give it a little bit of motion. I wonder if that'd be too distracting. There's a question for y'all, as game players. So like right now, all of the objects you can actually like pick up. You're actually saying green flowers all the time, but you just think that that's true. It might just be me. All the objects that you can pick up and use are animated. They have like some small animation. I did that so that they would stand out against the background. If we had objects in the background that were also moving though, do you think that that would be like a betrayal? Like, do you think you would be frustrated if you're like, oh, why can't I pick this object up? It's moving. Or would you understand that some objects can be picked up and others can't? What are your thoughts? Because like I'm thinking of adding like a little bit of like, I like seeing horses. I that like seeing horses with 4 fingers and no legs. What? Dan, what are you talking about? Is that like seeing horses with 4 fingers? They'd be confused if that's the way of... Okay, yeah, I think so too. It's a shame, but it does make sense. We want to make sure that the you know, pick-upable items are obvious. So I'll just make the flowers static. Horses' legs are biologically fingers, not legs. I know that they walk on their fingertips. But does that mean the whole leg is fingertip? Yeah, I knew that one. But it's still like... It's still their hand. Like, they're basically walking on their hands, right? The entire foot isn't... Or the entire leg isn't a finger. The whole leg is a finger? Let me look up a horse skeleton. Give me a sec. No, it's got knees. Look, there's the knee up here. It's like a bird. Those things where like the knee is up in the body. So there's like the pelvis, there's the knee, there's the ankle, and then this is like the hand, and that's the finger. Am I missing something? The knees are knuckles. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. So you're saying that what? So this is the hand, basically. This knee is a knuckle. It's like the first joint. And then they've got a backwards facing... No, I don't think so. Hoof is the fingernail. Right, I get that part. I get that this is like the finger down here. And it's like it's like if you were walking on your fingers and like you were just standing on like the tips of them. But I mean, this is still like, this would still be the arm. Like that would be like the elbow. That's the lower arm. And then this is the hand. And then that's the finger, right? It's like a finger pointing at the moon. All right, I gotta look it up. Horse skeleton. Are horses' legs fingers? No, not that. Oh. A horse's lower leg. A lower leg. Yeah, lower leg. Lower leg. Not the entire leg. Their true knee is up in the body. Yeah. Why can't horses eat potatoes? Look in Discord. Okay. Look in Discord. Yeah, this is just the bottom. This is the bottom of the leg. What about the rest of it? I knew this. This is what I was just saying. What am I missing here? Radius and ulna. Yeah, up there. Y'all trolling me. Y'all must be trolling me. I haven't had you two gang up on me in a while. I said the hoof. The hoof is a fingernail. Yes. Right. Wait. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what y'all are getting at. I'm gonna stop. I'm out of drink. Ooh, that makes me sad. I won't drink. Out of drink. All right, flour. Let's make another flour. We weren't ganging up on you. You were trying to help me grow by giving me misinformation. By having me look up something I already knew about horses. Great. You were also maybe parroting things you heard online. Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with like birds' legs. Like when I was younger, I used to think birds' knees pointed backwards, but they're not. Like the part that we think of as the knee that points backwards is actually like their heel. And their actual knees are up higher in their body. We do make a lot of loud squawking at times. Lots of loud squawking. It's okay. You are in good company to squawk. I was just confused because I think I was misunderstanding what you were trying to get at. Yeah, it was just a misunderstanding, I think. We got there eventually. I don't balk much for a chicken. I learned that hanging around with humans that they don't necessarily want me to balk that much. I also don't crow that often. I cluck a lot. I make a whole lot of clucking. But I don't balk very often. Miscommunications do in fact happen. It is true. Honestly, that learning that thing about bird legs was fascinating as far as the debunked like universal common ancestor thing exists. Like this idea that most of the four-limbed creatures on Earth have kind of a similar basic structure to their bodies, which is why we don't have things that have like 6 legs necessarily, is because we're all kind of like based off of the same, you know, like what do you call it? Embryonic state. I don't know if that's accurate or not though. Don't quote me on that one. Did I not say flower 1? Okay, yeah, flower 2 saved. Alright. Is that enough for now? Is that enough for now? It's probably enough for now. Same fish. Yeah. It's interesting. Like, it's interesting how, so I've got this picture from, Kurzgesagt on my wall right behind my computer that I look up at all the time. And it's described as the map of evolution, and it shows all the various, what would you call that, families or genuses of animals and sort of their connections. And it's pretty cool. And like at the bottom, they've got selected milestones in evolution and explanations for like how each one of these particular evolutionary traits advanced the existence of that animal. It's really cool. It's honestly very interesting. Like, and stuff I wouldn't have thought of, like bilateral symmetry or the evolution of jaws. You know, it seems like such a basic thing for an animal to have like jaws that can clamp, but no, it was a big advancement, and it was clearly successful. All right, before we go, let me share what Hax sent me. So, game placeholder page. Let's see this. All right, visit. I gotta fix this. I don't use Opera anymore. It's apparently my basic is still Opera Run game. Jaws evolved a lot of those 3 to 4 movies. I know, right? We haven't named the game yet, so please imagine a good one here. New game. Go. What's the select button? Like, what's the accept button? Hacks. E or click. Okay. Yeah, look. There's old Lirug. He walks around. He's a cool little guy. Look at him go. Yeah. Yeah. You can pick up things. Pick up feather. Got it. Yeah. Oh, it's cool. Submit offering. How do I know what I've submitted, though? Give me that. Give me that. Yeah. I love it. Inventory tab. Yeah, look at that. Oh, those things did not tessellate very well, but whatever, it works. Look at us go. Look at him go. Oh, I love it. Look at my little guy. There's the water. Oh, that's tessellating a bit much. That's fine. I'll try and make another water. Have that hidden because it's not done yet. Oh, it's so cool to see, though. It's so cool to see. Look at him go. All right. Well, anyway. So that's what we're working on. That's what we're doing. Hopefully it'll be done by the end of the week. Y'all, this is fun for me. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to go ahead and I will call the stream here. Horse's legs or fingers. Still don't believe that, but whatever, it's fine. What is this? Okay, yeah. Where's my actual... Oh, here, it's down here, right. Yeah, well, thank y'all for coming out. I appreciate it. Hopefully, this was entertaining. Again, this might be the same thing on Thursday as well, depending on how much I get done. But, I guess when we are finished, probably, I guess at the end of this week, we'll put up the, we will put up the game for everyone to try out on the Discord, so y'all can check it out there, and hopefully it'll be fun. And Hacks, if you would give me any sort of like links or whatever are necessary when we're actually finished, so that people can check out the Game Jam website and all that malarkey, we'll do that too. But that's gonna be it for tonight. Let's see, is anybody streaming? Let's see, Robo streaming. Okay, let's send y'all over to Robo stream. So let's do a little raid. Nope, not that. How do I raid? Is it / raid? Raid? Yeah, there we go. Alright, there you go. So, anybody wants to go check out RoboRev stream, he swears he is going to finish Pokemon Ruby tonight. So, I've heard that before, but, you know, might finish. So, yeah, go check that out. But that's going to be it for me tonight. I'm the MoeChicken. This has been Spriting, me making sprites. And thank you all for stopping by.